Hello friends, this is the second introductory video for the product configurator add-on. In the first video I showed how easy it is to start working with the functionality of this add-on by adding the demo data. Now in this video let's completely reproduce the configurator from the demo only by creating it manually step by step. This configurator covers the shoe selection case for different features such as gender, purpose, terrain and sport type. Having chosen the male gender at the first step, we will naturally see only men's sneakers in the final step, and accordingly choosing the female, we'll see only females. As you might guess right away, this configurator can be implemented if all the features and their values are set for your products. Well, let's get started. Let's go to Add-ons, Manage Add-ons, select Alex Branding, and on the Manage Configurator tab, add a new one. At this stage, you provide information such as title, description, and you can add a welcome page that will be displayed before any of the steps of the configurator. Here, it's necessary to add an element with the CMAB welcome close class, so that the user could close the welcome page. You can, like me, insert the code from our demo here and then change it as you wish. The video that is indicated here will be available only if the demo data has been added. We can now move on to creating steps. And our first step is gender selection, where we'll have two options. The logical groups that you can see at the top are only made for convenience, for better orientation in your configurator. Here we'll add a step with the selection of search conditions. Its name will be on the front end. Another kind of steps are the steps with the selection of products, which we'll add at the very end. For each step, we can also indicate its description and prompt, which looks like this. Now you need to create two options and add your own picture for each of them. Now for this variance, you need to add a set of conditions, that is, select the variant of the current step. In this case, it will be a gender feature with a man value. And repeat the same for the female. Let's see what we got so far. Here's our welcome page and first step with a description and a prompt. Thus, we have completely repeated the first step from the demo configurator. The next thing we want to add is the selection of the sneaker's purpose, running, individual sports and team sports. We'll need to create this step in two copies, for the male and for the female separately, so that we could upload separate images for the corresponding options. First, let's create the group again. To do this, let's hover over the existing one and add a new one to the right through the menu. Let's call it Purpose. Now we can add a new step with the choice of conditions. Inside, we add three choices we just mentioned and upload their images. Then we repeat all the same for the female. Also, do not forget to indicate sets of conditions for each option. Great. Now we need to implement the following. We want to get the male's options when select the man variant on the first step. And accordingly, we want only options for female to be shown when selecting the woman on the first step. To do this, we just need to connect the conditions with the appropriate step. That's all. Let's check it right away. Now, completely in the same way, we repeat the same process to create the other two steps, the terrain and the sport type. The logic here is as follows. When choosing a running shoes, we get the step with choice of the terrain. If it's some kind of sport, then a step with the clarification of the type. And the same thing is repeated for the female. It's quite simple. Now the last step which remains is adding a step with the selection of products. Let's add a new group and name it, for example, search results. Here we will add a new step, but now with the selection of products. We added it, and on the linking and filtration conditions tab, add all the conditions from the previous steps so that exactly those products whose features the user has chosen in the previous steps are shown here. The first thing we had was gender selection. Specifying the source step, select the gender and select the source feature and the feature of the current step. In this case, they will be repeated in these places, but in general, these two fields are intended for the implementation of more complex cases, which we'll talk about in other videos. Let's add other features of the remaining steps in the same way. Now, of course, you need all the previous steps to lead to this final step with the product selection. Let's draw all the necessary connection lines. Great, we can now view our configurator that we got. Subscribe to our channel and all the social medias to always stay up to date with all the updates and new releases from Alex Brandon team.